When most people think of flaws in the postal system, what comes to mind is the higher price of stamps or the opening of private mail by the CIA. But as reporter Ted Kinnaman discovered, it doesn't stop there.
Yes, Liz, it seems that even a small college in a small town is not immune to the widespread problem of mail theft. I conducted a penetrating investigation of one such small college, and what I uncovered was distressing, to say the least.
That sounds interesting, Ted. I'd be eager to see what your report turns up. Let's take a look at it if we could.
Carleton College, Northfield, Minnesota, a small eastern school in the Midwest. For years, Carleton has been singled out as a respected place of learning, an ivory tower, if you will. But something is rancid in the state of the institution.
There's always a lot of noise around.
Behind me is the college post office, which controls literally lots and lots of mail. Clearly, the temptation exists to take advantage of the control postal workers have over the personal property of other people, their mail.
Over 1,500 students come here every day, expecting to find their mail. This appears to be just a student picking up her mail. But is it? How can we be sure that this is her box, her mail? Some boxes open without combinations, and many boxes have remarkably similar combinations. At any time, someone could open a box belonging to someone else and take their mail. Our cameras observe this student opening two different boxes. Obviously, both of them could not be his own.
Excuse me, do you mind if I ask what you're doing?
I'm just getting my mail.
Do you mind if I look at the mail you've just taken out of your box?
Oh, sure, not at all.
Are you Jamie Milovitz?
Yes.
This mail appears to be addressed to one Janet McLean.
Oh, well, I was just getting her mail.
It appears that you're taking mail that doesn't belong to you, doesn't it?
Well, she's my girlfriend.
Thank you. So you see, a problem does exist. But how far-reaching is it? Interviews with other students confirmed our suspicions.
My aunt said she sent me a thank you letter, but I never got it.
You know, you can spend several days just trying to get your package. And a lot of times if there's food in it or something, it'll rot.
Just getting, a slip that says I got a package and getting it on Saturday at about 12:30, and they close at 12. Then I got to spend the whole weekend wondering what the hell I got, and I get all excited, and it turns out, it's a piece of junk mail that wouldn't fit in my box.
Are these suspicions well-founded? Robert Will is Raymond Plank Professor of Incentive Economics at Carleton College.
Well, as you know, the monopoly, the post office is a monopoly. And whenever a monopoly exists, whether it's a legal monopoly, like a post office, or an economic monopoly, the incentives to improve service on one hand, or to lower costs and lower prices on the other hand become eroded. They disappear. And that's what's happening with the Postal Service now. In any system of free enterprise, one needs a degree of competition in order to force the best service, to force the lowest prices.
But is it more than just inefficiency? Is there deliberate wrongdoing? Some students think so.
There's another David Frankel, and he's always getting my mail and I get his mail, and it's just very confusing. And the post office is definitely not very cooperative.
Well, there's a lot of stuff back there. I think they're just hiding it.
I think they've been withholding my letters because I usually get about 5 or 6 a week, and I've been getting like 1 or 2 a week now. And I think someone's screwing around.
These students are obviously upset about the way their post office is run. To determine whether their accusations were legitimate, we went behind the scenes at the Carleton College post office. It is clear in this hidden camera footage that questionable activities take place on a regular basis. Mail is often treated like garbage. The student workers have no respect for the mail they sort, or even for their fellow students' privacy. Here is an employee shamelessly reading a postcard addressed to another student. Before being distributed to the individual boxes, mail is sorted alphabetically here. Most of these boxes appear full, but where is the mail belonging to students whose last names begin with the letter Q? Is this mail being siphoned off to an outside source? This worker is taking a cart of mail out of the post office. Could he be a member of the mail-stealing network? Are we witnessing the delivery of hot mail to the leader of this syndicate? To further substantiate this evidence, we spoke with some students who hold high positions in the post office hierarchy.
We wanted to speak with Brooks Carlson, longtime post office employee. We found him here at a party. Mr. Carlson, how long have you been working at the post office?
About 3 years now.
And do you like your job? Are you treated well?
Yeah, they treat me pretty nice. They let us play the radio there, and it's pretty laid back.
I see. Do you ever steal mail?
No, we don't steal mail.
I see. What would you say is the most important thing you've gotten out of your years at the post office?
I'd have to say the $4 an hour.
I see. And what of your colleagues? Do you get along with them?
Yeah, we get along pretty well.
Do they help you when you're stealing mail?
Well, they help me out, but we don't steal mail, okay?
I see. Your colleagues, do they get along well? Do they try to work as a coherent unit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we try and work as a team, and it helps keep things smooth.
Mm-hmm. I see. Do you help each other out when you're sorting, stealing mail, finding addresses, that sort of thing?
Well, yeah, we do help each other out because it helps keep things smooth, like I said, but we don't steal mail. We don't do it, okay?
Not even a little bit?
No, not at all.
Carlson claimed to have no knowledge of the mail theft operation. Clearly, he was under orders from someone not to talk. Chuck Steinwittle also works at the post office in a position of authority. We spoke with him in one of his favorite leisure time haunts, the cave. How would you describe your overall experience with the Carleton Post Office over the years?
I think it's been a good experience. Would you say the system is an efficient one?
Yeah, I think it's an efficient system. I think now and then we have less than productive worker who may pick up a magazine, a postcard, and waste a little time. But in general, I think we do a good job and fairly reasonable amount of time.
Have you seen any evidence of wrongdoing in the years at the post office?
No, I haven't. Like they say, we occasionally have a lazy worker or somebody who doesn't do their appointed rounds as they should. But I think any business has some trouble with that, and I don't know exception.
Does all mail reach its proper destination, or does some of it get stolen before it gets there?
I'd like to think that it all gets to where it's intended to go. I realize now and then there may be, someone may make a mistake or be a little bit sloppy, but I certainly don't very much welcome anybody to steal the mail. And I think we do a good job of getting the mail where it's supposed to go in a reasonable amount of time. Thank you.
These workers' persistent denials indicate that they are involved in the cover-up as well as the actual theft operation. But does it go higher? Charles Wagner is a security officer at Carleton and has personal access to all areas of the campus.
In the evening, if someone asks for entrance into the post office area with proper identification and authorization, I will let them in. We do this only when the proper authorities have been notified and give me a call to say that it has been carried through the proper channels.
But who gives this authorization? Lou Lowelson, the post office manager, would not comment on any aspect of the post office's activities. When we tried to speak with her, Steinwittle, who was working at the time, intervened. We obtained these classified documents from a reliable source. They prove conclusively that student workers are gaining entry into the post office late at night. But what would drive a student to do something like this? Jerry Eberhardt, a psychologist at Carleton, sheds some light on the question.
Time and again, research has shown that people are likely to behave irrationally, perhaps even criminally, under average circumstances. Most notably in situations of tension, as happens here at Carleton, it's not unusual for normally well-adapted people to commit criminal acts. A student who is accepted, respected by his or her fellow students may, without any reason, commit a crime against these same students.
Thus it appears that the corruption goes far beyond simple error of judgment. It seems that there is a deliberate, organized syndicate of mail theft. Our research led us here, to Village House, a student residence area. 3 influential student postal workers live in this building.
Anybody home? Nobody's answering the door. Two girls back.
They just left.
Ooh.
Somebody give me
help? You need some help? Yeah, thanks.
Our attempts to talk to them were futile. Nobody home? Perhaps. More likely, they were there and had no intention of cooperating.
No sign of life.
Christina Stuckey lives next door. She seemed more than willing to talk to us.
Well, I've seen them around the POs before. I've seen some of them behind the PO window, yeah.
Have you noticed any strange behavior around their apartment, such as unusual guests, big full sacks of mail, that sort of thing?
Well, they have really loud parties on the weekends. Sometimes they go past 1 or 2 and tell them to shut up. But yeah, I've seen them walk out with really big bags. I always thought it was laundry, but okay, I never saw clothes. Yeah, are those guys in trouble? You know, are they going to get kicked out of Carleton maybe even? I mean, because I know a couple of people would love to live there.
The Carleton Mail Syndicate is a smooth-run operation, and the bosses are evasive and well-protected. One thing is clear. Students are angry, and they want their mail back. The integrity of not only the college, but the U.S. postal system itself is at stake. The problem is apparent, but what is to be done about it?
The problem is not in the individual at all. It's in the system. Unless the system can change, the problems of inefficiency and higher prices will persist and even flourish.
Since our investigation, complaints from our confidential sources have continued unabated.
That was an illuminating report, Ted. Has anything been done to stop the rampant mail theft at this particular post office?
The most amazing thing to me, Liz, is that absolutely no steps have been taken to break up the Carleton Mail Syndicate.
I'm shocked, Ted. I'm shocked at the nerve, the gall, and the presumption of those postal workers, at the law enforcement which refuses to take action.
Garbage.
I think I'm your kind of mail now. Through rain or snow or sleet or hail now. You know that it's in the bag. You got your stamp on me. I sent this card 'cause I'm not sure you knew. I just want to be adjacent to you. I just want to be adjacent to you. On the park bench for a subway, there's a vacancy. On the log flume or the ski lift, an empty seat next to me.